Alright guys, I am so excited to talk about The Fanatic, which was just released, I think, on VOD. It was in theaters too, but I didn't see it in any theaters that I'm close to. And this one got really big word of mouth. Now, this movie is directed by Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit fame. And it stars Devon Sawa and John Travolta. And John Travolta plays this character named Moose, who's like this over-obsessive fan, and like he is an over-obsessive fan of Hunter, who Devon Sawa plays, and he goes to great lengths and does many disturbing things to get what he wants from Hunter. So this plot is pretty basic. It is a basic plot, and the weird thing is, this is just one of those movies where it's I don't know if Fred Durst has directed any other films, but man, I gotta say it up front, this movie was really, really terrible, but it was so entertainingly terrible. Like, this was so bad, and I really don't like to shit on things, but man, this one, I had an entertaining time, and how ridiculous it is. This movie is insane. It is an insane movie. And at first, John Travolta, I thought was actually good at first, like as Moose. This really, really awkward character that you really feel sympathy for. He's a creep, but he's not trying to be. And I think John Travolta's performance at first, and I keep saying at first, really makes you like. I really liked his performance. It really made you feel for this character. And of course, he encounters Hunter, and Hunter he tells him off and leaves. So then he starts following him everywhere and stalking him. And I gotta say, that's the basic story. I want to talk about the dialogue. The dialogue in this is ridiculous. And these characters are crazy. Like, in terms of progression, character progression, they just turn on the turn of a dime. Like, literally. Like, the way that he is played, the way that Moose is played is just insane, because he's just crazy and he keeps getting crazier, but there's not really any escalation. It just happens. And then Hunter is just this asshole actor who does a lot of things that are just there for no reason. Like, you try to find ways to make him look worse, to make, I guess, to make Moose look more like the good guy, even though he's a creepy, awkward dude who's stalking this character. So they use it to where they have Hunter look like an asshole, but it's over the top and ridiculous. And he does all the things in the book to make him look like a big asshole. And it's nuts. It's just so crazy in how ridiculous they go with this route with this character. With both of the characters, they're both insane. And the dialogue, again, because of the writing, the dialogue is just so not good. And there's lines where there's a character, there's this narration from this random lady who, it makes no sense. She's a character in the movie, but it doesn't make any sense that she's narrating this at all. There's a line from her that's really bad that she says, "I guess when you find the cookie jar, it's hard not to go and find more." Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, I look at it like, what? What? I don't understand. That's just so silly. Such a silly line. And there is a hilarious scene with Moose. The way that he goes up to this guy and, like, literally puts his hands around him and starts strangling him. And screams like, "I wish Freddy Krueger would come out in real life and kill you and cut your head off." And it is ridiculous with the way Travolta does it. At first, I felt sympathy for this character, and I did like Travolta's performance at first, but when it got to that scene, about the halfway point through the movie, I'd say, he just goes balls to the wall insane, where it's just, it's extremely ridiculous, where you can't, like, it's funny. It does not work, though, but it's so funny. I laughed out loud whenever he said that line out loud, because he does scream it, like that line I just said. It is nuts. And, again, like I said, it's just, he's sympathetic at first, and his performance is good at first, but then as the movie goes along, it just goes greater and greater ridiculous lengths to make this character just go nuts. And there is awkward and creepy scenes at the same time of Moose like watching this guy or just being in his house and just sitting next to him while he's sleeping, and it is hard to watch. It's awkward and it's creepy. So I do feel like this movie does a couple things right. I think that the creepiness sometimes works, but the writing is so bad it doesn't work in some ways. But I think sometimes it works. I think sometimes Travolta works. I think sometimes Devon Sawa works. But their writing is so ridiculous, and these characters are so ridiculously painted into this movie where they do insane things, and it's over the top ridiculousness that makes it so silly. And I don't know. And also this movie, it's so weird because it's so badly written, but then it tries to be so artsy. Like it tries to make up for that with having images painted on screen of what's happening in the movie with the artsy music in the background. This movie's an artsy movie apparently. It's so weird because it just doesn't make any sense with the movie. I guess I don't know what they wanted with this movie. It doesn't make any sense. And the ending, I won't say the ending here because honestly this is worth a watch, and just how fucking ridiculous this is. This is an insane movie. So I won't spoil the ending, but for me it's just ridiculous how it ends. It ends in a way where I didn't expect. And then the movie abruptly ends on a stupid random line, and then the movie just ends. Like it is a poor excuse for like the movie ending. Like it has no ending. It just literally ends without any good reason. So this one was really, really bad, but it was really entertaining. I did enjoy the ridiculousness and the silliness and over the topness that it is not trying to be, but it is very much so being. So this movie is just so ridiculous and fun. I'd honestly recommend it. It is so horrible, but it is so entertaining in how bad it is. I do feel bad for the people involved, but they gave me entertainment though, even though it's not quote unquote good entertainment. But for me, I really did enjoy the Fanatic. This was a fun, really bad time, but it was a really fun time. I really enjoyed the Fanatic. So did you guys see the Fanatic? Tell me down below what you think of it, and go see it if you have not seen it. I rented it for $4 on YouTube. So thanks guys for this my review on the Fanatic, and thank you guys so much for watching.